this risk to anger the United States of America? And the answer is this: we are not angering the United States of America. They are angering themselves. They are not going to tell me what relationship I have with Fidel Castro. We have that friendship with Cuba as part of a world alliance of third world nations that are fighting for justice for poor people in the world. And I tell you as the party leader, as long as this party is in power, we intend to walk through the world on our feet and not on our knees.
We paid for it, we paid for it dearly in terms of aid. But Michael was very clear that, it's certain things you just have to take a stand on. Very firm on that.
At home, Manley's socialist dream had become a middle-class nightmare. If you don't like it, Manley told them, there are 5 flights a day to Miami. In the months that followed, thousands took his advice. Planes were packed with Jamaica's middle classes, taking their money with them.
When the first serious attempt at change was made, as always happens, there's a sort of almost like a shockwave that goes through the people who are better off and who have never really questioned the nature of the society under them. And so you did have a very real and regrettable reaction to some.
An American conspiracy to bring him down.
Let me tell you how destabilization works. They will go in the secret group that is trying to mash up the country. Will go in among the youth and find one that look like a leader. And they call him one side and they say, hey brother, we drop you $1,000 on the side if you get the boys tomorrow night to go down across the road and carry out a raid. But him don't know that it is a destabilization agent that has paid somebody to come among him and sell the idea of starting a bitch of a street fight.
Known that some famous syndicated columnist of the United States was going to come to spend a week resting in some villa. And mysteriously, the first night he's there, gunmen would arrive and start firing guns round and round his villa. Nobody would be hurt. By the next morning, he's in a state of terror. He flies home, and 79 newspapers across America read the story of the violent, terrible society disintegrating with gunmen the next morning. So you get the next few thousand tourist cancellation.
Suddenly, guns were everywhere. Michael's allies saw this as proof of...
Had to fight a good fight, because that was what life was about, to resist these sort of overwhelming diktats as to how we should live.
On Edward Searga's second visit to...
The militancy that Manley brought through socialism made it now something that wasn't around the corner and behind the scenes, but right out in the open.
Whereas before there was coexistence, there was rivalry. I'm a JLP man, I'm a Labour right. I'm a PNP man, I'm a comrade. And my party better than yours or whatever. But it didn't come to people killing each other. As it got hardened, it came to that.
Stand by and allow this sabotage of our country to continue. The cabinet has a...
When they called the state of emergency, they locked up all the frontline leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party, the frontline workers. I was one of those who was locked up. I was detained for 7 months, kept in indefinite detention, no charge.
Other move the word for Michael Manley, for the people's man.
Yeah.
Him see the people, him see the struggle of the people. Go off fight the last man, go off for the people, all the while. Put on people, go off for the people, all the way.
Michael had enough grassroots support to win the 1976 election, but the crisis still deepened. Foreign businesses found more friendly places to invest their money.
They frightened away every foreign investor that we had, and a lot of local investors at the same time, because they were threatened. They were told that they were not the sort of people that were not wanted here, that Jamaica was going to be a socialist country, and that the capitalist was no longer welcome. America was called a wicked imperialist capitalist nation, an exploiter, and the whole ambience of the place was very frightening to any kind of investment.
But to bow to US pressure as his socialist dream of a free, equal, independent Jamaica crumbled before his eyes. He went to the World Bank and effectively handed over the running of the country to the IMF. Jamaica's future would now be in the hands of foreigners.
He was, you know, sort of proud person who felt that although your country was small, that you had rights like everybody else. And I think he realized the extent to which these rights were going to be withdrawn.
Less than 20 years of independence had brought the island back to financial slavery. The IMF loan of 29 million was not enough and came with strings attached, which put an end to social reforms and led to shortages.
We can't get oil, we can't get detergent, we can't get flour, we can't get rice.